What do women owe to men in relationships? And in return, what do men owe to women? And is marriage still valuable in the year 2024? These are questions that I brought Saif Al-Yasi on again to talk to you guys about, because after our last episode, when we turned off the cameras talking about fitness, he and I started talking about our marriages. We started talking about our wife, our family, the structure we have built. And that conversation was incredible enough that we said we have to come back and do this in front of a camera. So, Saif, thank you for joining me again. It is phenomenal to speak to you. You are a man who you are unapologetically masculine, which is wonderful, but you aren't on the internet thumping your chest like King Kong either. You're a quiet masculine man, and I think that that is the best kind of man we need in this world. Thank you for joining us again.
Adam, thank you very much. You're always overwhelming me with the beautiful introduction. I wish I could be having the same way to like explain my guests or even myself like you. Can you repeat that again? It sounds
Absolutely,
so
man.
no, I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, it was really lovely speaking to you the other day, and yeah, definitely. And luckily, I think I recorded. I still had my camera recording, and hope we can get some content out of it. But it was really an interesting topic, and I was really happy that we were both having similar views, and I was really happy that there is another person out there who thinks alike in regards to relationships and how families should be built and how wives should be treated. So I'm really happy to have this new conversation about this topic today.
Absolutely. I am very happy to tell you we are not the only people on the planet who think this way. Most of my coaching clients, they come in and they tell me in a whisper. The women, they tell me in a whisper that they kind of want a masculine man. Some of these like global executive women, very feminist, strong, empowered kind of women, like, well, I kind of
Yeah.
would actually like a masculine man. Is that? And they ask me, is that okay? Like I, the man, is supposed to tell them that, yes, you have permission to want a masculine man kind of thing. It's amazing. And then the men coming in saying, I really, I think I want to lead my wife, but I have no idea how. She might get mad at me. Is that even okay for me to want? You and I are not the only ones thinking this, but you and I think, are the only ones with the guts to say it, which is why
Absolutely.
exactly I wanted you on here today. Everybody listening in the audience right now, I need you to listen to Saif here today. He's going to bring you a lot of good wisdom that we need here in the West. We need this information here in America. It is being
Yeah.
stomped out where no one is talking about it and everybody's afraid. So let's not be afraid anymore. Masculinity is not given to fear. Masculinity has a heart of courage. Courage is pushing through your fear to do what needs to be done. That's what Saif is here to do here today. Saif, let's get us rolling a little bit quickly here on something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I have a problem on most of my platforms, and I think you're going to help me with that today. Most of my platforms, they can't agree on whether I hate men more or whether I hate women more. I don't hate either one, but Twitter, they think I hate women. Here on YouTube, they think I hate men. Over on Instagram and TikTok, they think I hate men as well. It's a very, very strange thing because I try to side and be gentle with each side, and the other side says Adam hates us. So today, I want us to talk about first, what do women owe to men in relationships? What is it that a man should expect if he takes a woman on into his life and says, I will be responsible for you? What does that mean?
Um, we it's very simple. We men are very, very easy. Okay. Uh, and we are like baby boys, but with beards, muscles, thicker voice, and we pretend to be like macho walking around. But to be honest with you, it's very, very easy to talk to us and contain us and own us, right? So how is that? It's two things, very, very, very easy, but it's very difficult to apply or to put the ego of the woman aside and do this. Respect and appreciation. These are the only two things, nothing else. Trust me. A woman cannot have me by the way that she cooks, because my mom might be cooking better, or the restaurant around the corner could be cooking better, or a nanny that I could have at home could be cooking better. So there's always someone better in terms of cooking. And I can get my food if I don't know how to cook myself. So there are many options for food. So food is not what a man is looking for in a woman. But if it comes from a woman, that's nice. Absolutely nice. But it's not that thing. The other thing, um, cleaning, same thing. Raising kids, absolutely same thing. Anyone can, schools can raise kids, nannies can raise kids, moms, aunties, neighbors, anyone. You're not special for that reason. Okay. The other thing is sex. Again, if we leave the religion aside, if we leave everything aside, morals, there are plenty places, plenty women out there who could give you the pleasure of having that 5 to half an hour minute pleasure. But we're talking about something much more valuable that the woman or the partner, my wife, your wife, adds to us as men. Beyond that, it's the respect that my wife shows me in moments that I need that. It's the appreciation for the things I do. And trust me, you could agree with me as well. Like when you do something small, very, very small, just simply opening a door, for example, or handing over something or bringing something at home, just simple things. And your wife tells you, wow, thank you very much. That was really nice of you. You know what I would do if I hear this? I would go probably like hunt the entire world just to hear that again and even more. That's how easy it is for us to be tricked and fooled and really own our heart or own us. And I'll be yours forever just to say like thank you or anything like that.
This is so true. My wife, so we've been, for everybody at home, if you don't know, and safe, I've been married for 15 and a half years. I got 5 kids. Um, to this day, I open my wife's car door every time. We go out, we go anywhere. I open her car door. She sits down and then she makes eye contact with me and she just gets this biggest smile on her face, says, thank you. Every single time. It's like, oh, right in the heart. Every single time you get this big warm feeling in your heart, right? That
Yeah,
appreciation, you are so right.
yeah,
That is what sets it apart. You said cooking is not the way you win a man's heart, sex is
no,
not the way you win a man's heart, and that's true. You can get that anywhere, but when it's cooking from a place of appreciation, oh, that meal tastes so much better. So the cooking you get from your wife then in that way is better than the cooking from other places because of the appreciation.
yeah.
The sex you get from your wife with appreciation, with that respect, that is so much better than sex with any other human being you could get, right? The appreciation is the flavoring that makes it taste good.
Adam, let me tell you a small example, Adam, here. And this is like a trick for or a hack for all the women out there to gain the new version of her husband or boyfriend. I leave my home when everyone is sleeping, like really early, and I don't come back only until evening time. I get calls from friends to go out and meet them or hang around with other people, friends here and there. I say no to everyone and I look forward to reaching home, parking my car, opening the door just to see my wife smile. That's it. This smile that she gives me, whether she's faking it or it's true from the heart, for me, I wait my entire day, even if I'm exhausted, dead. I don't know, I could be probably conquering the entire world, exhausted, came out of war. I will come home crawling just to see the smile on her face, and my day is done. I have this enormous energy in me that I could do anything over and over again the next day. So it's just a smile. She doesn't say anything. And by the way, she's not here. She's probably going to see this and probably not. I'm going to take the risk. Ever since I saw her until today, we met each other until today. I swear to God, I haven't heard a word from her to say I love you. Probably 2 3 times in our entire relationship, probably for the last 8 years. That's it. For me, I don't want to hear the word I love you. I want to see it. How do I see it? With a smile on her face, by the things I do, with the respect that she shows me in front of people, and even when we're alone together, how she treats me with these small things, which is just simply can be, as I said, like the appreciation and the respect.
Mhm.
So that's how simple men are. But it takes a man to bring out these two things from the woman. Now here I'm converting things because women will be like, okay, we understand, we know, yeah, it's all about us, and there's nothing from your side, right? I've read so many comments when I say this, like men only ask for these two things, respect and appreciation. But from the other side, women will say like, yeah, also we need appreciation and respect. No, you need more than that. You need way more than that. And that's the duty of the man to give this to you in order to be honored by this respect and appreciation from you. So in the relationship, the man is always the leader, and it takes a man to lead a woman. You said at the beginning of this podcast, there are women out there they're seeking for a masculine man, even though they're feminist or having thoughts of being feminist, or like, rebels in the relationship, but they truly want a masculine man. Now let's define the word masculine man that these women want or ask for. Are they really tough, strong, tall, uh, bearded, and like having ego, and they're ready to fight? They're having these anger issues and stuff, or they're the nice and soft people who treat women with romantic flowers and treats, or is it a mixture of both?
I think that it's neither of those. It's not the swaggering Andrew Tates of the world. It's also not the fluffy Hollywood boy who is the everybody loves him but he has no substance. I
Yeah,
think that what I've come to define masculinity to mean is it comes in two stages. Okay,
yeah,
there's the beginning, there's the juvenile, the young masculinity, who he grows into his personal sovereignty. He gains discipline over self. He is a master of himself. He doesn't let other people control him. He also maybe doesn't seek to control other people. He has personal mastery over who he is, and he defines for himself who he is. That's the beginning stage, but that's where most men, I think, get stuck. That's where the Andrew Tates of the world get stuck. I am master of myself. No one tells me what to do. I have no responsibility. These are the men on the internet who hate marriage. Marriage is dumb. Responsibility is terrible. Don't let anyone tie you down. That's that juvenile version, right? I think that, and I believe in all of my heart, and from what I've seen through my clinical experience, years of helping men, you've probably seen this in your years of helping men as well, is masculinity finds its maturity. It grows into manhood when that man uses that personal sovereignty for the good of others, when he becomes that leader, when he takes on responsibility, when he cares for others, when he collects that tribe, he drags the circle around and says, this is mine, these people, I will care for them. He becomes a servant to them, that servant leader mentality. That's where masculinity finds its fullness. And I think that's the man's responsibility in the relationship, is to become the servant leader who has personal sovereignty and chooses to serve the people in that family. That's what I have found. Is that what you have found?
absolutely true. And I can add on top of what you just said, because I mean, I don't disagree with what you said at all. It's absolutely right. But there's another picture which has to be added to it in terms of how men lead in the relationship and how they are responsible for their wives, for their kids. And by responsibility is not by providing and protecting only.
Mhm.
A true man, first of all, we talked about like how important marriage is in the beginning. So a true man is a man who finds himself complete in terms of how um, how he develops himself entirely, from body to mind to soul to business to all aspects of life, but as a single person. And this is only 50% if you look at a life of a man in general. The other 50%, a man is measured by how much can he be as a man in a relationship. So show me all these men out there who are successful, who handle strength and handle stress outside the world by themselves in terms of uh, how much muscle he has, because weightlifting is strength, how much business he can make, or he can build financially, success that he builds by for himself, and other aspects of him, again being single. But the other true test that a man has to go through in order to be complete is, can he handle the other part of the stressful life, which is building a family? It's not easy. Not all men can do it. And that's why you cannot call a man complete, or a man. The word man is really a heavy word, unless you go and see that man, if he has a family, and you truly measure the success of the man by looking at how happy his wife is. I can tell you right now if you're a successful person or not if you show me the smile on your wife's face. That's how Adam is successful. That's how Saif is successful. If Medina, my wife, she's smiling, not because I want her to smile. No, you have to see how happy she is by herself, with her friends or with her family, and that's how successful I am as a man. I made it. If there's no happiness, there's no smile, and she's miserable, she's all over the place with her attitude, that means the man has done something wrong. It's not the woman. You and I, we chose our wives because we found something in them that we said, yes, she is the one. And that's when you propose to your wife. I proposed to my wife for a reason that we found at that time. Change happens because of life, that's true. But you, as a man and as the leader, have to change towards becoming better and handling the changes that's going to come through life after marriage. How much you can keep these ups and downs, which we all know that women have during the month: happiness, sadness, crying, excited. How can you balance this turbulence with all the good and bad, and staying a man without losing it? Because here is the measure of men, is how you can control these ups and downs without losing it. And how to lose it is by accepting that she's a woman, and this is your duty to absorb those moments when it comes, and fulfill your duty as a man by how to make her happy. Think twice. She's your wife, she's your partner, she's your best friend. How are you going to treat her at these moments? So I blame men, if I want to come to the question again about who to be blamed, because men think that this is weakness. This is the ultimate strength of a man. It's not weakness.
I agree with you.
Yeah. When you show
I
love and care to the wife. That's what I wanted to
absolutely,
say. Yeah.
absolutely. You and I have talked a bit about our wives. We both have very, very, very strong wives who are in America, the word would be fierce, but who are strong. In America, when you say a woman is strong, people immediately think, oh, she's a feminist, she's a high-powered lawyer, she's an executive, she hates men, right? No, not strong woman. She is a powerful woman. She is a woman who is aware of her own abilities and uses them for the good of her family in that capacity. Very strong women. You and I both have married, which is wonderful. Um, I saw a recent reel of yours on Instagram. And everybody out there, I recommend you go check out Saif's Instagram because it's incredible. It'll be linked down below in the description. I saw a reel on your Instagram where you were talking with a female podcaster, and you were talking about the strength of women and the need for men to have a strong woman in your life. I think the podcaster asked you, should men be afraid of strong women? And you laughed and you gave a brilliant answer. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. Saif, should men out there, let's say, young men out there who are trying to imagine, should I get married? Should I not get married? Should I find a weak woman that I can boss around? Do I need to find a woman that I can control? Should men out there be afraid of weak women, or should they be afraid of strong women?
No, see, the stronger the woman is, the more powerful I will be. I want, yes, I don't want a weak woman beside me. For her to be obeying and listening and yes, like a maid. No, I need a woman who stands up to me and tells me if I'm doing something wrong, because a strong woman will make me stronger. Okay. And that's what I want to be as a man. So, how am I going to be stronger? So, if I am a lion, I need a lioness beside me. And we talked about this, and I'm bringing this example. So, when I'm outside the house, I want to make sure that I leave another version of a man home, which is my wife. She's strong. She's capable of handling and taking care of the house, the kids by herself. She doesn't need me to be there. But when I come home, she's that lovely little kitten that she's going to be between my arms. And I will show up to protect and provide and be the man at home. But I need a man when I'm gone at home. So that's how strong my wife has to be. And she's definitely that strong woman. I mean, she's a Taekwondo black belt. First dan, she's going to be in her second dance. So look at it from this way. I mean, for us Arabs, we have a saying where we say like, the mother is a school, or the woman is a school. If you I need to choose the right word here to translate it, because the literal word doesn't sound in English very, very well. But yeah, if you not make her or not build her, but if you prepare her the way you want her to be strong, she's a school. So if you prepare the school properly, she's going to build an amazing generation. So in repeat, if the woman is a school, if you prepare that school properly, she's going to give you the amazing generation in terms of kids we're talking out there. So I need this woman to be strong, because I rely on her to raise my son, to raise my kids, okay, to be strong as I am, as strong as she is. And that's what you as a father and me as a father want our kids to be. And you and I understand, because we're fathers, we want our kids to be better than us. So no matter how good I am or want to be, I always want my son to be better than me, because I'll be much more prouder that my son is better than me. But I don't want anyone else to be better than me. I will always compete with everyone, but not with my son. So this duty is for me to provide to the woman, to the kid. So this is how life is supposed to be. So a strong woman is very much needed to build a strong society, to build a strong generation, to build strong kids. And without strong women, look at society, it will be weak. So, but strong women are stronger in the absence of a man. So that's why the boys out there, I wouldn't call them men, the boys out there are scared of those women, because they don't know how to behave as men to contain this masculinity in her and bring out her feminine energy, or that sweet soft part that she has. Any woman out there, any woman, no matter who she is, where she is in life, in her career, she has that soft part in her. But in the absence of a true man, she has to act strong. This is survival mechanism. But when a man comes in the room, just look at her behavior, look at her face, and look at how soft she becomes. Only when a true man comes in that room.
I think that's what's burning women out in the West, is that men have, first of all, they died in the world wars. They died, they gave up, They were destroyed. So we had generations of women having to be the men in the home. And we see that quite a bit also in Eastern Europe. A lot of men have just died, and the women have had to be very hard to protect and preserve their families. Over here in America, in particular, so much masculinity died out, and then so much masculinity started to reform. It had to hatch from its egg, become a fledgling, become a juvenile. We're in juvenile right now, and we're stepping forward into masculinity. So when I talk about positive masculinity, I talk about the role of men. I talk about, it is our job as men to build structures. It is the job of women to fill those structures and to connect the structures. Men build on the outside, women fill. If men are building the containers, women are the water that fills the containers. That is our purpose. One could argue that the purpose of manhood is to preserve life for femininity. We are designed to give structure for femininity to step in and fill and then create life. Our role is to protect the creators of life. It is not our role to create life itself. So
No.
a lot of people, when I say this, I get all kinds of arguments over on Twitter. People say, "Oh, Adam, you must have a weak wife. I feel bad for your wife. You're talking about masculinity. You make her be in gender roles." And if I walk out of my home office, my walls in the family room are covered in my wife's hunting trophies that she's taken down with black powder rifles, the old musket you have to stamp down with the black powder because she doesn't want to take them out with current guns because it's too easy. And she's a bodybuilder, so she can get strong arms so that she can hoist her own deer and butcher her own meat. And she carries our 5 children. Sometimes I walk out and she's got one baby strapped to her back, one baby on her front, one baby over here, and she's carrying 3 babies. And with her other hand, she's stirring the pot in the kitchen while she's cooking. So a strong woman is necessary for a strong family. And a man can't be a masculine man, I would argue, without a family. He needs a family to find the fullness of his masculinity, whether that family is biological, whatever the family is he's chosen to take on, right?
Absolutely.
But he needs a
It's a
family to give
responsibility.
himself for.
Yeah.
It's a responsibility of fatherhood, of whatever capacity that looks like. So along with that, I very firmly believe in different spheres, different spheres. We used to talk about this, especially in the West. We used to say men live on the outside of the family, women live on the inside of the family. And this is what people get wrong. I hate this so much. And I think you'll probably hate this too. When we talk about family, when we talk about masculinity, femininity, Americans always go to the 1940s and 1950s of one man in a house with a housewife who doesn't speak, and the man is worked to death and angry and drinking, and the woman feels unappreciated and unhappy, and the kids are just left to go run off at school and go play outside, and nobody is happy. That's what people go back to for tradition. And I think that was the dumbest phase in human history right there, because it was
Absolutely. It's
unsustainable.
never been right, and it's not right with the modern changes as well. Like,
No,
you have to
no,
adapt, and you have to still understand that no matter
yes,
which phases in life that you go through, I
yes,
believe, like, we are making it right now. But trust me,
yes,
if we go back to that time, we'll make it also right, because it's
yeah,
not the life that makes it; it's us who makes the
yes.
relationship
And
right.
we have a much older saying that goes before the 1950s, which is this. And I think you'll like this one. Maybe you've heard this one. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world.
Yeah,
Right? We look at
absolutely.
my father's Italian. Italian moms are known for ruling everything in the family because their
Yeah,
sons love them so completely. If you
yeah.
look at that, that is a phenomenal system. When the woman raises her family in love, they don't discard her or disregard her. They
No,
talk with her. She is an honored queen in the family, right? There's a
absolutely.
king, but there's
And
also
who
that queen.
makes her the queen?
Now that's a good question. Who is it that makes the queen in your household safe?
Absolutely me. That's how she is.
Absolutely. What
So
what have you
my
done to make the queen? What have you done
I
to
have
make the queen?
okay, I have to be the king first of all. And no one is going to make me or call me king unless I prove that I am king. So I have to work on myself. So it always starts with myself. So I'm selfish. I'm narcissistic. So I build myself. I like myself. I try to invest in myself for the sake of me being that king, to make her the queen, to make my son the prince. So look at it in this way. I always seek progression in me. Okay, and this progression in me is going to make me more stronger to protect, more stronger to love and take care of my wife, and I am a leader. What is a leader? If we define the leader as not a person who goes and gives orders, a person who shows by example. So I have whatever I want my son to be or my wife to be, I have to do first. I cannot come and tell her to do this if I'm not doing it. I cannot tell her to love me if I'm not loving her. She is my mirror. So I look at myself and how I progressed in life in her eyes, okay, in her behavior. If she is acting the way that I want, that means I'm doing something right. If she is not, that means there's something wrong I need to go back and fix in me. So that's why it's very important to understand that it starts with you and you look at yourself in her. How does she behave? And to the level that I lead by example is I want my son to respect my wife, my queen. How does that happen if I don't respect her? How do I expect my son to love his mom and behave like a gentleman if I am not that gentleman at home? I cannot give him orders. Kids don't listen and don't follow by orders. They follow by example. They watch you, what you do, they copy you. For instance, my son, Adam, the younger version of Adam, uh, he eats healthy because we are a healthy family. I started my journey 10 months ago on carnivore. When I come home for dinner, my wife serves that lovely steak and she puts his food with rice or whatever. He looks at his food and looks at me and he looks at his mom. He's like, Mom, I want to eat like that. I want to be like that. So why are you feeding dad the steak and not feeding me the steak? I don't want this food. I want to eat what dad is eating. I never forced him to do that. And he asked me, Dad, why don't you, for example, eat ice cream? If he wants to have an ice cream, I tell him that, son, I don't eat ice cream because I am not a man, a boy. I don't want to be that person who eats ice cream. So I am a man and I have to be strong. So strong men don't eat ice cream. He's like, then I'm not eating ice cream. That's how I told him not to eat ice cream. So it's an example that you lay. So how do you set that example? By understanding yourself and loving yourself and taking care of yourself to set that example and be kind. You know, my son, until the age of 4, he's 4.5 right now, he never called his mom, mom. You know what he calls her? He calls her honey. And guess where that came from? He never knew that his mom is called Medina or he has to call her mom because the only word that he hears in the house is honey. That's how I call my wife. So this is a true example of how men are leaders in the relationship. And this is the true example of leadership. And this is what men are supposed to be. And this is how men win and own the woman. And my wife, she cooks for me not because I want her to cook, not because Saif said that if I come home and there's nothing on the table, you're not a good wife. No, I come home to find that proper served meal because it's served by love. It's served to me. This is her only gesture to call, to say to me that I appreciate what you're doing for me, how you love me. And this is my language in return for you. I will serve you like the king because I am the queen. You made me a queen. Let me show you how you're supposed to be treated in return. So it's a mirror. She reflects my behavior. I think
this.
women will love this right now. But I really truly say it from the heart. It's not for me to get this attention, but this is truly how it is. And as I said, like in the beginning, like if you want to measure the success of our relationship, me and my wife, just go and look at my wife outside and see how she is. And that's how truly successful it is.
We can sum this up. We can say it is a woman's obligation and responsibility to respect her husband, and it is a man's obligation and responsibility to be worthy of her respect. And we both have those. We both have that circle. and we have to continue growing. I love this. My son is the same. When he sees me getting better, I said a few months back, last summer, I said, I need to get fit. I need to get healthy. I want to be alive until I am 95. I want to follow you kids everywhere and give you constant wisdom and advice, even if it bothers you. And I will be alive for a long time. So I'm going to get healthy and fit. He said, what does that mean? I said, I'm going to be walking. I'm going to be moving. I'm going to be doing push-ups. I'm going to lift weights. He said, can I join you? I said, sure. So I get down, I do push-ups, and he's brutal. I get down, I'm doing push-ups, and then I hear next to me, and he's just standing, he's leaning on all fours, barely moving his arms, but he's, and I go, oh man, do I sound like that? And he's just vicious, but he's copying me, and he has got better at doing his push-ups. He's got better at walks. He's got better at doing the weightlifting, and it's, I'm seeing myself reflected at him. There's an old saying, the sins of the father will be revealed in the son. The secret things that we fathers do wrong in our homes that nobody else knows about, our son is going to show the world what we were secretly doing. Right? That's what I have come to firmly believe. So I look at what I have done. If I do things wrong in my home, I tell my wife, and this is where a strong wife comes in. I tell her, if I do things wrong, tell me. It is her job to tell me when I do wrong. It is her job to tell me when I am weak. It is her job to tell me when I fail, when I fall short, especially if I don't know it, because that is going to hurt all of us. And it is my job to receive that feedback with grace as that leader and say, I am going to do better than this. Thank you for telling me. It's her job to give it to me respectfully, right? And tell me what I need to do. But it is my job as the leader to hear that, or I will walk us off a cliff and I won't even know it. So that is how I have grown stronger in my home. Have you done something similar with your wife?
Absolutely. And this is how men have to copy successful people in their relationships is you work on yourself and develop yourself, but a true leader doesn't give orders. I don't need to be respected. I earn my respect when I come home because of the things I do. I show love in order to get love in return. I show respect in order to have that respect. I set boundaries for myself from the outside to protect myself and protect my family. So these things, these are my duties. This is how a man is measured inside the relationship. It's not the beast that you should supposed to be outside the relationship. Is how you can contain that beast inside the relationship, knowing the wife knows that you have that beast inside you. You have that monster. You have to feed that monster. You have to train that monster. But when you come home, don't show me that monster. I want to know he's there, but I don't want to see him. So this explains like the beast or the monster inside every single person is anger, his sex drive, his masculinity, his all the traits which are called toxic masculinity in a man has to be there and has to be fed. So if we break down these aspects, for example, like every woman wants that man to be strong and like well built. Despite the age, he still is strong. Even an old grandfather, if you look at him, he's strong. He's capable of carrying a woman or carrying any heavy object. He's still attracting women, even though he's old. So his strength attracts women, but that strength is to serve nicely at home and protect. The sexual desire has to be still there, and it should be flaming and well fed, but it has to serve at home, not outside. And again, all the features of a true man outside has to be fed, but served nicely at home. A woman wants a man to be strong and protective, angry, ready to fight, ready to shout. But don't bring that beast home. Keep him outside, but feed him. Make him ready whenever we need him, but not at
I
home.
agree. And a wife needs to help her man with that. You don't have to just, you don't, what is the saying, right? If women understood how men feel, they would never allow those men on their carpets at home. Because,
Mm.
right, if you shoo him off of the carpets and you want him to be perfectly clean all the time and have nothing like that, you need to understand he has that beast. I talked with a femininity coach not that long ago here in the West. We have to, there are women now coming forward training women to be feminine, training women to have their feminine self, because it's so lost here in the West over the last 100 years. And she said, it is not a woman's job to make her husband be faithful. It is not a woman's job to make him honor their marriage vows, but it is her job to make it easier for him to honor her those marriage vows. She needs to make sure when he goes out into the world that he's not starving physically, starving sexually. Feed him so that his temptations are less. Give him that so that he can properly care for you. That she said that was a woman's role. What are your thoughts there? The man has the beast. Fully agree with you. What is a woman's responsibility with that beast as well? Because she benefits from the beast.
Yes. First of all, as you said, respecting the man, pushing the man. Behind every successful man, there's a strong woman, or there's a woman. So the respect of her to that man with the small things that he does will make that man grow. And this is, I believe, what a woman wants, is her man to grow, to be hers. So as you said, feeding him sexually, physically, before going out, this is how you keep the man strong inside, and faithful inside. And also how you show love at home, not bringing hell at home. There are moments when I did a podcast with my father, and I asked him. My father is my true example of how relationships are successful, even at this age. Is how long he handled my mom, and how well he handled my mom with her ups and downs. So I would love to be like him. So on a podcast that I had, which was an honor for me, I asked him, like, what is the role of the woman? Just the same question that you asked me here. He said it in a funny way, but the internet obviously took it in the wrong way. He said, "What is it?" I asked him, "What is it that keeps a man happy?" And he said, "If a woman just shuts her mouth." And I understood what he said, and obviously, smart woman out there understood exactly what he means. And I'll just say this also, because it happens at moments. I mean, me and you, I'm telling, when I say we are strong men and we know how to handle our woman, but we are also human beings. We make mistakes
Mhm.
sometimes, and we
Yes.
could lose it at moments. We're not angels who don't make mistakes. No, we do sometimes, but it is required from a smart woman. Only smart woman would understand what I'm saying, to keep that word here and there instead of throwing it. Sometimes it's difficult for us to contain ourselves all the time, to contain that beast. Sometimes, some words trigger. I would advise these smart women to act wisely and smartly by just avoiding what you want to say, although you just want to throw it out there and say it. Maybe just being quiet at moments. For example, when I'm angry, and I do become angry, and I'm ugly when I'm angry, just leave me alone for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. It's all what it takes. 5 minutes. Just quiet for 5 minutes and see how I will behave. Even if I'm not wrong, I will come and apologize. But it takes a smart woman to hold those ugly words that she wants to say. Just hold them for a few seconds. So sometimes, this is the explanation, and sometimes these words could hurt at moments when you're fighting your own beast. You know, you're trying to contain him. The chains are within your hand, but he's really strong. He wants to go out there and fight and say back. You're holding a really strong anger, strong behavior that is ugly, which is growing and growing sometimes because of the words that women throw. And at the end of the day, we're human. We could make mistakes. So you don't want me to lose my grip from that beast sometimes. I'm
Agreed.
trying my best.
Agreed.
I'm fighting. Yeah.
I hear you. A
Help
good
me.
woman knows the right things to say, but a queen knows when to hold her tongue and let there be peace. And
Yeah.
that's the big difference, right? If you give him some
And
peace,
help
that
me
makes a big
help you.
difference.
Help me help you. So let's put that beast back in his cage together if I cannot
Fully
handle him
agreed.
myself. Yeah.
Fully
And
agreed.
again,
Young men out
this is
there, you hear this? You hear this from
yeah,
two men who are happily married to strong women. If you want to ride the tiger, you have to be stronger than the tiger, and the tiger will take
true.
you everywhere you want to go.
Don't ignore that beast. Don't leave him. Like, don't. We're not telling you to become weak men with your wives and be romantic and nice. As I said in the beginning, like, which one do you prefer? No, no woman is going to stay with a weak man who loves and cares about her and honey, love, yes, flowers, let's go for a romantic date. No, she's going to be bored and she's going to leave you after a few days. No, she needs both people within you mixed nicely in the right percentage. So feed yourself, feed that man. Go be successful. Go train. Go build yourself. Build your environment. Be respectful. Grow within your community. Grow within the people around you. Always seek progression. Always look forward because you have a family back home and everyone is relying on you. So I'm not telling you to stop becoming who you are or who you want to be just because you need to get married. No, keep growing and glowing because everyone that you're going to be with relies on you to grow. So don't stop because men, even when they get married, they fail in their relationship because they feel comfortable and they sit down and sit back like, yeah, I'm married, that's it, whatever. I'm not going to be working out. I'm not going to be, I'll find a comfortable job to pay the salary and the pension later on and we're going to be fine. No, a woman needs you, the person that she met you at the beginning, the person who is a fighter, who goes and builds himself, who has a dream, who has a vision in life, who wants to keep growing no matter how old he is, still has a vision, still has this drive within him that he needs to keep on moving and then behave the same at home with love and care. And that's the perfect mixture of a true man, of the alpha man. Unfortunately, we have to say the alpha man, but in the past we used to say just the man. And that's why I want to keep saying the man, not the alpha man. But translated in today's language, it's the alpha man. But let's call him the man, and the others are boys. So if you're a boy, it means you're single. If you want to become a man, go get a lioness next to you and show me how strong you are.
Love it. Love it. Everybody out there, you heard it from this man right here. Please, 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 Safe, tell everybody at home where they can find you. And we're going to link all of them down below in the description as well. But where is the best place to connect with you and learn from you first?
Definitely the Academy, Be Human Academy. And soon we'll be having a huge community, which everyone is waiting for. I have the carnivore community launched, as I promised, past 2 weeks already. It's been a week right now. Everyone is growing over there. Everyone's changing. And guess what? All of the active people in the community are strong women. which I'm really happy about. I don't know where are the men. God knows where they are. But that's why I'm going to have a community where we will focus on those boys to become men and grow. So it's Be Human Academy Instagram account, and then you can find me Saif Al-Yasi on my Instagram account as well. And yeah, I'll be waiting for the boys.
Beautiful. That's so funny. I run the attachment circle community of myself, and a lot of our most active members tend to be strong women as well. That's fantastic. I think women are waiting for male leadership, and in the absence of it, they are stepping forward themselves. So guys out there, time to step up. You probably will have your pick of lionesses out here as long as you step forward and become that good man that you need to be. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate you. You know me. I'm Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist. I will see you on the next one.